employee ID, employee name, job name, manager ID. Forget about the manager ID. Salary, join date, department ID, department name, department location, and grade is belongs to. This is the information the client wants. End user wants this data. What you will do? First, you need to write a query or not. Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, audible.
Yeah, this is the data that the end user is required. End user in the sense business. In our terms, a client. Okay, this is the data. So, employee ID is coming from which table?
Employee table.
Employee table.
You know which column is coming from which table. Okay, employee table. Employee name.
Employee.
And this job name.
Employee.
Employee. Salary.
Employee.
And also hire join date.
Employee.
Hire date. Sorry, department date.
Employee.
Either it will come from either employee or from department. So before this, I want experience, and I want annual salary. Okay. Annual salary. So is this directly available?
No.
No.
Calculated field. And annual salary also?
Calculated field.
So though it is a calculated field, is it coming from which table? From which table we can derive this?
Employee.
Employee.
And
Employee. And this also
Employee.
derived from employee. And department ID, employee. Department name.
Department.
And department location.
Department.
And grade is coming from.
Sal grade.
So whatever the information that client required is coming from 3 different tables. Okay. Now you need to write a query to get this information. So you know, right, how to join. Select from employee A, join department
As D.
on A dot DEP ID,
Department ID is equal to B dot
EB ID. Okay. Join sal grade
C.
as C on A dot salary between C dot in sal and C dot
Max.
max. So now we are able to establish we are done with the joining, and take the call. Employee ID is coming from where? A dot EMP ID. So the client need the employee, the naming conversion like this. Employee ID. Okay. And A dot EMP name as employee name. A dot job name as designation. A dot salary as salary. Next. A dot
Join date.
hire date as join date. So next, date diff of y comma a dot file rate comma
Get current date. Get it.
as experience. Next, annual salary. How you can calculate the annual salary? A dot salary star equal as
Annual salary.
annual salary. Okay. This. And next what? Next, what is the column?
Experience also.
Mhm.
Experience.
Calculated, no? See.
Okay.
A dot DEPID as
Department and
ID. B
B
dot
dot
DEP
D
name as
department name.
department name. B
B
dot
dot
DEP
D
underscore
underscore location.
location as
Department location.
department location. And comma C dot
C dot grade.
grade as
Salary.
employee salary grade.
Salary.
Okay, this is the data the client required, and we are done with the query. Okay, see, we got the data. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to take this data, you need to copy this data, and you need to paste it in Excel and save that Excel with as a CSV, and you need to share that CSV to the end user, right? That is one step. How you can share the data? Now you are done with the query. Whatever the client required, the requirement is done. And what you need to do now is you need to share this output to the client. So one way is, what you need to do?
Right click.
Take the output into Excel, save the file as CSV, and share it to the end user. Either if we ask you to place that in the FTP location or SFTP location, or if he wants to share to your mail if it is a small file. Okay, depends upon how he need. Okay, this is the first way. And the second way is, load the data. Whatever the output we are getting is, load the output of the query into a new one table. Okay, just a moment, guys. So load the output of the query into one table and share the table to end user. Okay, share the table to an end user. If you give the table name to the end user, he can take the data on his own. Okay, this is the second way. So if you go to the first way, so daily you need to do this, right? daily wants the data. So what you need to do, you have to keep this query somewhere saved in your system, and you need to take the output and you need to generate a CSV file and share it to the end user. This would be your daily task. So if you go by this way, at least you need to spend some time or not. You should spend some time.
Yes.
So instead of spending a time, so what you can do is this, by using talent, you can automate it, not a problem. So what you can do is you can take this query and keep this query into one and generate the output into a CSV. And the CSV file can be, you take the CSV file and share it to the SFT. That is one thing. Without having a ETL tool, I'm just telling. So forget about that. We have a ETL tool. Okay. So next, second way. The other way is what? So we'll use this query and we'll load the data into output of this query into a table. And if you give the table to the end user, he can access the table, right?
Krishna,
Yes.
I have one doubt. How to load the output query, I mean, into table? Like, do we need to create a table?
Already I have shown you, Andy. So already in our last classes, I will show you again, not a problem. So simply, so if you run this query, what is coming? The output we are seeing into the result pane, right? In the result pane. So if you want to load the data, this data into a table, keep into some table name. What is the table name I'm just giving is employee info. Okay. If I run this query now, whatever the output that was written by the SQL query will go to this table.
Got it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this is how you can create a table. Okay, fine. Either the way is fine. So in two ways we can send a data to the client. But here, so in this, if you select the second method, you truncated and so you have loaded the data into this table and you have given this table to the end user. So tomorrow, if you access the table, you will be seeing the same records or he will be able to see any new records. Suppose
Same reports.
in employee table, I have 2 more employees has added, and in department, new department is added, and in the sal grade, 1 more new grade has added. Will he be able to see this information in the employee table, employee info table?
No, sir.
If he wants to see, what we need to do? Daily, we need to either truncate the data and load this data to your table daily. Otherwise,
Or update the data.
or what you need to do is drop this table and recreate this table every day. You need to drop this and you need to recreate every time. Every time the new data is inserted into your employee table, so you should keep on doing some operations on this table or not. You need to do some manual activity. Suppose we are loading the information to the employee table is a one time in a day, that is fine. At around evening or something, we can tell the end user by 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, you can able to see the updated data. By the time we'll run this query and we'll load the data into the updated data into the table and we can confirm him. But suppose if the data is real time, then as and when the data is getting inserted into any of these 3 tables, you need to truncate and load the data, right?
Yes, sir.
Suppose if the employee table is getting updated 20 times in a day, so you need to drop and recreate this table 20 times. If it is a small query, then fine. 10 records is fine because it will take less than 10 seconds or seconds. So that will not make you a bigger performance issue. Let's say the data is huge and each time that you are truncating or loading or drop and create is taking half an hour. Assume if employee table is getting updated 20 times, means almost 10 hours this query will be running or not?
Yes, sir.
Each time half an hour if it is taking. So to avoid that, what we can do is, so no need to share the file in Excel. So simply what we can do is take the same query. Take the same query. And the third method, create a view. On top of this, create view underscore employee info as create view name as this query. You keep this query here, just execute. Now I have created a view. I have created a view. So I'll share this view to the end user. I will share this view to the end user. Select star from view employee info. Okay. So how many records we are seeing? How many records we are seeing?
14, sir.
Records.
14.
Okay. Okay. Let me insert a new record. Insert into employee
Value.
direct. I'm just inserting the same record from employee where empid equals to (68736). So I'm just loading the data into one record to this table. Sorry guys. Now I have inserted a new record. Okay. Let's see. This record is available in the table that we have created. Select star from how many records this table has?
14.
But we have inserted one more record, right? Actually 15 records would be there, but one record is not there because we have used join, right? The 66666 record 1005 department ID is not available in the department, right? That's why that record is not coming. Okay, I will show you how that will also come. Okay. Okay, here it is 14 and select star from view. How many it is showing?
15.
15 records. Earlier, how many records it shows? The view has
14.
now.
15.
Did I do did I made any changes to the view?
No.
Automatically, the data is reflecting in the view or not?
Yes.
Why it is reflecting is this view doesn't hold any data. Whenever you are doing select star from view, it will go and execute this query. It will go and execute this query. So that's why we can call view is a logical table. View is a logical table, which means it doesn't hold any data. It doesn't hold any data. It holds query. Okay. So whenever you perform DML operations in tables, used in the view. Whenever you perform DML operations on a tables used in the view, automatically view will be updated. Automatically view will be updated. So see, DML operation in the sense I have inserted one record. I've inserted one record. So when I inserted a record, before inserting a record, how many records the view is showing? 14.
14.
When I have inserted one more record, it is showing 15 or not.
Yes.
So automatically the view is updated. That's what I'm saying. Whenever you perform DML operation, let's say if you perform delete operation on that. Delete operation in the sense, suppose if I use delete operation, see, delete from employee where emp id equals to this. If I run this command, how many records will get delete?
2.
2 record, because this record is already there and I have inserted a same record. So if I do this, 2 records has
Okay.
2 records as difference. So sorry, 2 records are deleted. Now see, out of 15, if I delete 2 records, how many is the what is the total?
30.
13. See, you'll be seeing 13 or not? Seeing 13. Okay. So that's why. So by seeing this, which one is better for sharing some of the end user requests, either the first method or second method or third method?
Third method.
Third method,
Third.
you need to do anything. Whenever the modification has done to the tables, like DML operations only. So this will, we will automatically get affected. Okay. Next.
Sir, if we drop the table, then data will be from the view also will be dropped.
So if you drop the table, then view will not be accessible. You can't access the view.
Can we give the same table name and same view name, sir?
Sorry?
Can we give table name as a view name, sir? Can we have same?
No. So this object will be same, right? You can't. See, generally, when you are creating a table, so generally it'll start with table underscore, which represents
It is a
table
table.
name. So if you are creating a views, if you keep view underscore, it represents a view. Okay. Let's say try creating a view with the, so as you asked, so I'm just removing this. Let's try it. See, there is an already object named employee info, but this is not a view. This is a table we have created. So same object you can't create. Okay.
Okay, sir.
That's why for better understanding what we'll see, if you create a table name with the table TBL underscore, everyone knows that this is a table. And if you create view underscore, they'll understand this is a view. Okay. Next. So here, suppose if you are giving this query, instead of doing all these things, you can simply give this query to end user, right? That is also possible, right?
Yes.
Instead of sending a file manually or creating loading the data into one table and giving an access or creating a view, instead of these three, you can simply give this entire query to him. Whenever he runs, he'll always will get the latest data. But if the end user is not technical, and if the end user is not technical, he'll come with unnecessary questions. Why? So why you have kept a dot? Why this get date? What is this department table? What is this salary table? He'll come up with a lot of questions because he is not from the technical. Not all the end users are technical. There are functional. So they only see the data. They won't understand the query. So unnecessary questions will raise. Okay.
But the data is in our server now, sir.
Yeah, data is in our server. See, in general, whatever the data that we are getting from the business, we load the data into a database. Okay, that is, we call it as a raw data. On top of that, we'll create a data model. Okay, ER diagram. So data model will build. That is our own. Okay, we'll build a data model that it doesn't to do with anything with the client. So what client wants is, this is the data, I'm just giving it to you. From this data, I want these KPIs. KPIs means, like, if you are doing some business, he wants profit or loss or discount or bonus, or how much is the deposit he made, how much is the withdrawal he made. This kind of information he wants. Okay, how many new customers has added, so how many new customer has made the business, how many existing customers had made the business. So from the data that he has given, he need all this information. So whatever the information he needs, so based on that, architect will create a data model. So based on the data model, we load this all this raw data into those tables. That data model, the end user might not understand. So that's why we'll not be sharing any individual queries to them. Instead, if they requested for anything, so just simply either we'll follow either of these three steps. Okay. If possible, we'll create a view and give it to them. And if it is a larger data set, and we'll create a one procedure and we'll try to load the data into the table. As soon as the table is refreshed, we'll inform them based on the scenario. See, this is only the way you should do. This is not the way that you can use only this way. So depends upon the requirement, you choose any of these three. That's why I've shown you three methods, and one of the methods can be using views.
Okay.
So this is how. Suppose I want 66666 record also here. 66. If I want to get 66666 record, so how I can get?
Left join.
I need to do left join, which means I am just changing the definition of the view or not.
Yes.
I'm changing. So how I can change the definition of the view? Just keep this. So you want to change the definition, what is the command?
Alt.
Alter view name. Okay. So view is altered now. Now run this. How many records should come?
15.
Already it was 14 records, 15 was there. And since we are applying join, the 15th record will not come. So 14 records, and we have inserted one record, which includes 15, and we deleted that record. The deletion has happened on 2 records. Now the count is 13. And now again, we are including one record. The count is 14. So 15 is coming. Why 15 is coming? Should be 14. No? Double 666 is coming twice. Yesterday we have inserted this record, right? Twice. You remember, to check the duplicates.
Yes, sir.
This record has inserted twice. That's why it is coming 15. Okay. So next, views is a big concept, and so no need to learn everything in the view. So you just need to know, have you created, if anyone asks in the interview, have you created views? Yeah, we have created view for end user requirements. So I have just created a simple view. That's it. How the view is this? See, if you are creating a view and giving a data, so by creating a view, what we are doing? Hiding the objects are run. So if you are giving a view to him, and he'll simply get the data. But inside of the view, whatever the tables that we have used, client will not be able to access them. So client will not be able to see them. So that's why hide the objects used in the view. This is one step. Okay. Next, how to drop a view. So before dropping a view, I'm just dropping a table, sal grade. Drop table, sal grade. I'm done with it. Now try to access this table. So access this view. What did he saying?
Could not use view or function.
Could not use
VW.
your function because binding error. Binding error in the sense that there is something has happened to this view. So here see invalid object name sal grade. Sal grade and a table లేదు. So I have dropped it. So if you want to make this view has to work, then what you need to do is you need to remove this join and you need to remove this column. Guys, please mute yourself, please. Okay, and remove this comma. Okay, and then I'm just commenting and I'm not removing anything. So
ఇది
comment.
చూపులో
Okay, now access. Now you can able to access the view. Okay, this so. How you can drop your view is simply like drop view name. One thing you need to remember is on whatever the tables that you have used in a view, whatever the tables that you have used in a view, if any DDL operations are performed on the table, any DDL operations like adding a new column or dropping an existing column. So what you need to do is you need to just alter the view again so that all the changes will be applied. Otherwise, you will get a binding errors. DDL means, you know, right? Create,
Yes.
alter, drop, truncate, rename. Any of these things you perform. So you need to just refresh the view, alter the view. Otherwise, you'll get the binding errors. Whenever you get the binding error means some DDL changes has happened to the tables used in your view. You need to go and check each of the table and you need to alter the view after the changes. This is the concept behind views here. So generally view is a logical table. Physical table is what? It holds the data. Physical table is it holds the data. Suppose employee table, it has the data. Department table, it has the data. And salary table, it has the data. These three are physical tables. But view is a logical table because it does not have any data. So view has query only. When you execute, when you do select star from view name, so what the SQL engine will do is it will go and execute the query which is there in the view, and it will get the result. That is. Anyone has any questions regarding this view? Practice చేస్తున్నారా?
Yes, sir.
One second.
ಇದು ರಿಯಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್
సంథింగ్ ఎవరు క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతున్నారండి? Next concept is temporary tables and global temp tables. temporary tables. Okay. So first, temp tables. It may be a temporary table or global temporary table. Temp tables are session level tables. Temp tables are session level tables. Okay. Session level table means, let's say I create a table, student, S number, integer. Let's say create a student 2, which means student already is there, I believe. Student 2 is also there. Let me create with student 3. S name, varchar of 100. Okay. I'm just creating a table. Okay. That into student 3 values 1, comma some ABC. I'm inserting a one record. This table can be accessed by anyone who is using this server. Okay. This table, suppose the same server you are using, I am using, and someone else is using. So anyone who is using this server can access this table. If they do, select star from student 3. They'll get some data. They'll get some data. If I do the same, creating temp table, create table. So temporary tables are prefixed with hash. If there is any table with a prefix hash is temporary table. Same thing I am doing. Okay. I have created a temp table. Insert into student 3. Okay. I've inserted. One row is inserted. Just query the data. I'm just keeping these two queries one after one. Okay. Run it. You are seeing the values or not? From the both the tables, you are seeing values or not?
Yes, sir.
Let's say, let me take a new session. How you can take is, if you click on new query, each new query will call it as a session. Okay. This is another session. And I'm keeping these queries. And I'm trying to execute these two queries. See, what it is saying, invalid object name, student 3. I can able to access this table, but I can't be able to access this table. Can be because this is a temporary table that is valid only at session level. In this session only you can use this table. In this session only you can use this table. So in the real time, when you will use this temp tables is, suppose you want to store the data for temporary purpose, for doing some calculation intermediately. You don't need to store the data permanently. So in that scenarios, what you will do is, you will create a temp tables and load the data into that table. Okay. Once the session is closed, automatically the temp table will be dropped. But if you create a physical table, what will happen? The data will reside in the table and the table also will exist. Suppose if you forgot to drop the table, what might happen is, it will unnecessarily store, it will unnecessarily occupy some storage. It unnecessarily occupy some storage. So that's why these temp tables are session level tables. Okay. So in the real time, so generally we'll use the temp tables in a real time only. That too, when you want to load the data for some intermediate purpose or for temporary purpose, for doing some calculations. Instead of loading the data into some physical table, you'll simply create the table, temporary table like this, and you will load the data. And you can use that table in the entire session anywhere. You can use the table in the anywhere in the session. But if the session is closed, if you close the session or the session was disconnected because of the network issue or any transport level errors, anything comes, automatically the temp table will be gone. If the session is disconnected or closed or any reason, the temporary table will be gone. Again, you need to run. Okay. So, but when it comes to global temporary table, so the same thing, the table with double hash. You create a table with double hash. It is a global temporary table. This can be accessed. This can be accessed. So this can be, let me, for now, let me do one thing. I'm just, instead of creating this here, let me drop this global table, drop table. And just let me create this table here. Okay. I'm just creating and inserting a data. Now see, star from see. I have created this student 3 with a double hash global temporary table in this 55 session. Okay, session 55. And let me check here. You can able to access or not? The global temporary tables can be accessed across all the sessions in the server. Across all the sessions in the server, you can use this. But if this session is disconnected or closed, suppose let me disconnect this session, which means let me close this session, which means I've done with the session is closed. Why it is asking for saving? Okay, then just try running. It is saying invalid object name or not.
Yes, sir.
So what is the difference is the temporary tables and the global temporary tables both are session level tables only. Session level tables only. But temporary table can be used only in that particular session where you have created. But global temporary table can be used across multiple sessions. Okay. If so, you can use across multiple sessions. But if the session where you create this temporary table and global temporary table is closed or disconnected, or you have any transport level errors, then automatically the table will be dropped. Temporary table, both temporary table and a global temporary table, both will be dropped. Okay. This is what the difference between. So, but it's up to you, whatever the table that you use. Suppose if you want, when you are running a query, if you want to make use of that global temporary table in the multiple session, then you can go for a global temporary table. Otherwise, the temporary table. So mostly 99% will go for a temporary table only instead of this global temporary table. So both are same, to store the data for temporary purpose. Store the data for temporary usage only. But the difference between these two is both are at the session level tables, but the global temporary tables can be accessed in multiple sessions. once the session is closed with any reason, like you closed it manually, or it was disconnected due to network issue, or transport level error, that transport level errors also will come due to network issue only. So any of these three reasons or any other reason, if the session is disconnected, then the tables automatically will get dropped. Automatically will get dropped. So I will show you when you are working with deletion of duplicates. So how intermediately you can store the data in a temporary table, and then how you can use the data from temporary table. I'll show you when we are working with analytical functions and identifying and removing the duplicates. In our further sessions, we'll discuss. Okay. Anyone has any doubts regarding temporary table and global temporary table? These are small topics only. Anyone has any doubts?
No.
Clear with temporary and global temporary?
Sir,
Yeah, please.
గ్లోబల్ టెంపరీ వేరియబుల్ ఇక్కడ డబుల్ హ్యాష్ తో క్రియేట్ చేశారు కదా సార్,
అవునండి.
అది ఈ 58 సెషన్ లో కూడా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుందా సార్?
అవుతుందండి.
ఏ సెషన్ లో అయినా అవుతుంది.
ఇదే సర్వర్ తో కనెక్ట్ అయిన సెషన్ లో ఎన్ని సెషన్ లో ఓపెన్ చేసినా సరే అన్ని సెషన్ లో యూ కెన్ యాక్సెస్ ద గ్లోబల్ టెంపరరీ టేబుల్. ఓకే, బట్ ఏంటి అంటే ఆ గ్లోబల్ సెషన్ ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ క్రియేట్ చేశాను కదా నేను. సో ఇఫ్ ద గ్లోబల్ టెంపరరీ టేబుల్ okay, so let me create a global temporary table over here. See, so ఇక్కడ global temporary table ఇక్కడ క్రియేట్ చేసంటే this is the origin where you have created. Okay, so I'm just opening two different sessions. Okay, which is 52 and 51. Okay, now I am in 67. I have created and inserted a data. Okay, select star from student 3. Okay, you are able to get the data because I have created this global temporary table in this session only. So try here in 51, could be able to, and try here. I could be able to run this query. Okay, suppose I am just disconnecting this session which is 52.
Okay.
Do you think that the global temporary table is not accessible?
No, it's accessible.
Yes.
Accessible.
Not accessible.
Accessible
Because you
It can
created the
access.
global temporary table in this session.
in this 67.
In the
Oh.
67. If
67
this
is the
session is
main server.
disconnected or closed,
Yeah.
then you can able to access. You have not created the global temporary table in this session. You created in the 67th session. So if this 67th session is disconnected or closed, then you can't perform. You can't be able to access this. Let's say, suppose if I make this so let's say I'm just saving this document here and okay, now I'm just closing this session. 67 session I'm closing. Now try, because the session where you have created this table is closed, then you cannot able to access.
Got it.
Got it?
Yes.
Any other question, guys, regarding views or temporary and global temporary tables?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, Chappan.
So can we retrieve data from view? Like conditions code evachu sir, where conditions can
Same, how you are accessing the table, the same way you can do that.
Okay.
How you are doing how you are retrieving a data from a physical table. The same way you can do that with the view as well.
సో వ్యూ నుంచి రిట్రీవ్ చేసుకున్న డేటాను కూడా నేను ఇంకొక టేబుల్లో కానీ ఇంకో టెంపరీ టేబుల్లో కానీ
Load చేసుకోవచ్చు. Yeah, you can do. But you can't perform DML operations.
ఎస్ సార్
Data insertion or insertion or deletion or updation, you can't perform it.
ఎస్ సార్
మీరు కనుక వ్యూ అనేది సింగిల్ టేబుల్ మీద క్రియేట్ చేసి అదే సింగిల్ టేబుల్ మీద అగ్రిగేషన్ ఫంక్షన్స్ కానీ ఏమీ యూజ్ చేయకుండా సింపుల్ కాలమ్స్ తీసుకుంటే అప్పుడు మనం డిఎంఎల్ ఆపరేషన్స్ వ్యూ మీద కూడా పర్ఫామ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, there are two different types of views we have, simple view and complex view. Simple view ante enti ante if you are creating a view on a single table without using any aggregation functions or distinct keyword or top class anything, then it is a simple view. The simple view I can say example is create view name as select star from employee. That is a simple view. Then you can perform either DML operations on a view or directly on a table. Either the way you can do. But the view that we have created is from multiple tables and you have a calculated fields. So you can't perform DML operations on that view. So if in interviews, if anyone asked about DML operation, can you perform DML operation means I never tried doing that. I never tried. Simple answer. I have created a views and I just I used views for just retrieving the data purpose only. I never performed DML operations. That is you guys are from talent, so no need to go that much deeper.
ఓకే
Anything else, guys? Okay, guys, I'm just winding up the session for today. So I have some couple of requests from the business office. I need to continue my work.
ఓకే సార్
Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్
Thank you.
Bye.